I'm Robert Steadman and I'm the composer of the Christmas Truce. It's a story that's always fascinated me, not only the mythology of it, of no one's entirely sure exactly what happened and how far the truce spread along the front line, but also the fact that it shows a fragility and humanity that I think is fundamental to the human race. I think it's astonishing and fascinating that these soldiers ignored authority. They stood up for what they considered to be right in the early stages of the war, when the whole time they were being fed with jingoism and patriotism and the fact the enemy was evil and bad. And they stood up and they exchanged gifts, they sang carols, and they played football in no man's land between the trenches. And it's something that I think gets forgotten, particularly in a world today that still is dangerous and torn apart by wars everywhere. I've wanted to write a piece of music about it for years now, and when I mentioned the idea to John Weller, he seemed incredibly keen, not only as a musician, but he likes football, and it seemed to fit, the whole thing seemed to fit together very well. So I'm really looking forward to the performance, the premiere of the work, and I'm eternally grateful that we've been able to have joint performances in both the UK and in Germany at the same time to show and demonstrate the cooperation and the humanity that those soldiers in December 1914 showed. Thank you ever so much for doing the piece and for coming along to the performance, and let's hope that maybe human beings can work together more and not fight.
This is Holy Trinity Church, Hereford, England, and the venue for tonight's concert featuring Robert Steadman's Christmas Truce. When Robert approached me a long time ago and asked me if I was interested in putting on a performance of this work, which was still in its planning stages, I was honoured to say yes. Tonight's performance brings that project to fruition. As we move into 2015, we remember those who gave their lives for their country in the Great War of 1914 to 1918. And in particular tonight, we remember the events of December 1914, the Christmas Truce. Historians still debate exactly the goings-on of that time, but whatever, it's a very, very powerful story that will be told in tonight's concert. Tonight's concert in Hereford features a number of wonderful musicians. Charlotte Kidd, a wonderful young talented pianist. Nick Drew, a good friend of mine, singing the tenor solos, and an orchestra made up of fellow musicians and teachers. The choir is made up of a number of Hereford-based choirs: the Hereford Chamber Choir, the choir from St Thomas Cantaloupe CE Primary School, Cantate Domino, and the choir from here at Holy Trinity, as well as other local musicians. We also thank everyone for their support, the audience, and also all those who have shown us any sponsorship or support in any other way. My thanks also go to Konrad Kleck, who's musical director over in Erlangen, Germany. Enjoy the concert and happy music making.